What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome to episode 217 of the Dumarks podcast, Solsuke special. Here for a good show. Fellas, how was your week?
Ooh, it was a long week.
Rough week.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's getting to that time of year where like you have the I'm off for the holidays crowd, so I'm already checked out based on vacation versus the here's 3 months worth of work to get done in 3 weeks. I fall into the second part of that crowd, right? So my recharge, relax, easy peasy last month of the year just turned into a dumpster fire with the amount of work that got shoveled onto my plate. So that's always fun to work through. But other than that, man, here back at it again. It's Army Navy Day. So I will be watching the standalone game of the day, Army versus Navy football. A house divided here. My son's in the Army National Guard. My dad was in the Navy, so it's I don't have the split jersey, but it's definitely picked up as far as rooting interest goes. So yeah, other than that, man, here back at it again, up early, ready to rock and roll. A lot to get into, some stuff good, some stuff bad, but
I traveled for 2 weeks. I got home yesterday and I was like wiped out.
you probably just slept.
I couldn't even sleep. I got in yesterday morning at 2 a.m. and I was just like, you know what? I was like, I'm just gonna sleep in.
That flight.
Whatever time I get up, and cool. I get up 8 o'clock. Couldn't go back to sleep. Someone started ringing the doorbell at 8 o'clock and just like, what the hell? Just like,
Ooh, you gotta fight somebody.
Right? So yeah, like
you gotta put the no solicitation sign out there.
Do not disturb.
Instructions: leave package on the porch.
Yeah.
So yeah. So then yesterday I kind of felt like just all completely worn down. I was like, am I getting sick? Like, and everything, just with all that traveling. And today I woke up, I was like, okay, I'm not feeling too bad today.
Yeah, I said that you was on assignment last week. You made that stop in Jacksonville, so
Had to have that meeting.
Well, apparently the meeting you had with you didn't work because the booking for Dynamite was the drizzling shit.
Oh, the meeting was on Thursday.
Okay.
I was down there. I didn't get to Jacksonville till Monday, so they were away, and yeah, we couldn't meet up till Thursday.
Well, hopefully there was more people at that meeting than showed up at the Texas All In press conference announcement that they had. There were more people at an 8th grade basketball game than at that All In press conference, which just
about a Black Friday rush.
it's just it makes me so sad. Like it really does. Like I know I bitch about AEW a lot on this show.
I think that's all you talk about.
hey, it's called for. It's
Hey,
called
they
for.
do it themselves.
Yeah, like something that I was so high on in the beginning, that was so good in the beginning, that
Yes.
had me hook, line, and sinker in the beginning.
Yes.
And just to see the way my own interest, like I got mad at myself tweeting out on Wednesday night because I'm like, am I hate watching this show right now? Like I don't want to be that guy.
Oh,
Like
that's me.
but I'm
Kind of what's to come.
but I'm legit putting out there like constructive criticisms of the show without trying to sound like just a complete hater, because I know there's plenty of people that actually enjoyed the show. But come on,
You hate.
Yeah, but it doesn't
You hate
matter
that.
what you put out there because they're not going to care. The only way that they're going to care is whenever people just stop tuning in and TNT and TBS looks at them and go like, hey, your ratings are bad. We're going to have a talk.
Well,
That's the only way to make change is to stop watching the show and giving them the ratings.
Yeah.
well,
Stop going to the show.
I'll pick. The numbers are declining as far as attendance goes, and ratings are drastically on the decline. And
We'll get into
touch on that.
We'll
We'll touch
get
on that,
into-
I'm
we'll-
sure.
we'll
Because
get into it.
unfortunately, not to sound like a broken record, but my mush of the week this week is, surprise, surprise, from AEW. So, yeah.
Same here.
Don't I see you decked out in Tennessee? What's the occasion?
Oh, it's just the pre. It's just the pre. Pre. Let's
Oh, they
go.
don't have a game today. You just like,
No,
I'm
today, yeah,
ready.
I'm just wearing it. Oh, don't worry.
You're-
Next week. Don't worry. Next week, boy. This little box is gonna be something else.
Lives at
Like
24/7
Phyllis
over there.
Win or lose, this box is gonna be decked out next week.
Yeah, I mean, I still have the pit hat on, even though we're in the
Level what bowl or something? I don't know.
We're in the Pepsi Clear. We brought it back historical, non-relevant bowl. I don't know what the hell it's
Christmas in Detroit. They was happy about that too.
You like Pittsburgh Steelers fans singing Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl in week 17. Like, too early.
Yeah, that 7-0 start was definitely a false positive because Pitt pitted and lost their last 5 games to finish 7-5. So like, go figure, right? There's a lot of things that went into that. Their quarterback is injured. He turned into Chuck Knoblock and forgot how to throw from second base to first base. Couldn't complete a pass.
Yes.
You talking about an old school play.
They lined up in the Mighty Mike football package in the wing tee and said, "Hey, we have no motion.
Wedge right.
We have no nothing." That was so terrible, man. Like,
they call it off tackle left.
Yeah, off tackle left, off tackle right, screen right, screen left. Not even putting numbers in the play call.
So Boone, I run 2 plays.
Yeah, sweep right, sweep left. Like, fullback dive. That was the most successful play. Fullback dive. Out there, Frank Rizzo with the fullback dive. Just, man, 2 yards in a cloud of dust. What are we doing here? Shout out Frank Rizzo.
Yes.
Was the shortest nose tackle I've ever seen in my life, and just wreaked havoc on everyone.
Got the job done.
Yeah.
So before we hop into mush and predictions, I have a little on this day that happened this week. Steve, it's within this week, years ago.
Verification. Make sure that criteria is clear from last week, because I was in a completely different direction as far as what Donald said last week.
This week, 3 years ago today, Malachi Black spit mist in Julia Hart's face, thus giving us one of the best character directions in AEW history. Some said the rest got in Alexis King's beard, but
that's what turned him into Alexis King, right?
Yo, I've never seen a Beijing in 42-point font, but Alexis King has a Beijing in 42-point font.
He got the pointy stuff.
My sister double text. She's like, his beard is crisp.
Yeah, he's definitely in the hood barber. He's not getting that. He's not getting that in downtown Orlando. He's driving to the 305, getting that edge up in the Everglades.
He got it from Angelo.
So before we hop in, I want you to give we'll go to 5 years AEW's been around. Any promotion, give me your best character developments thus far.
In AEW or
any promotion?
No, any promotion.
Not 5 years.
I mean, like who I've enjoyed as far as like their character shift and development, where they've gone and all that.
Yeah.
Or starting from Tony comes straight to mind.
What is it?
Tony's the one that comes straight to mind.
Storm?
Yeah.
Oh, that was. I wouldn't even think about that.
Hangman.
Yeah.
For me, Swerve. Swerve is another one who is just elevated from a character aspect. Seeing Jeff Jarrett turn into just a crowd babyface favorite this year was interesting to see, but I'm here for it from an older axe perspective. Yeah. From the opposite side of things, like I hate the way Jericho's going, even though JR just put Jericho over this week on his show, talking about he's the MVP of AEW, and they're so lucky to have him, and he's just
that took a bad
such a
downturn.
like. It's not even like cringy hate. It's just like bad. Like, bro, this is not working. Like,
when I watch it, Jericho segment gets fast forwarded through. It's unwatchable.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of
Dirty Dom in there.
I was gonna say Dom.
Okay.
We're going across the board with people.
Across the board, yeah.
Dom, Liv found her footing.
Yeah.
Right. Rhea.
And not Rhea.
Say,
yep, we say
right?
Rhea.
Yeah. I think from a character aspect, two of my favorites as far as like characters of the year in 2024. That I have three right now, but two out of those three would be Christian and Chelsea Green. Just like I am fully entertained every time both of those individuals are on screen. Like completely entertained. Christian sitting in the suite, just full-fledged. I mean, from the turtleneck to the wrestling in a turtleneck with cut off sleeves to the your dad is dead, I'm your dad. Just the whole evolution of Christian character-wise has been fantastic.
Street Fighter boss attire.
Wasn't something I thought was going to be coming out of that.
No, not at all. But I like that. And, Chelsea Green for me is just can't miss. Must see.
Yeah, we'll talk about her later on.
Yeah, I'd throw JC Jane and Mandy Rose in there for the development.
Yeah.
Toxic Attraction definitely helped out Mandy Rose's career.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I like Jungle Boys right now. Well, not Jungle Boy, Jack Perkins right now, but now it's I think it's at its peak right now. And
I think it hit the peak already.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely good to see growth out of him, that he can do it.
Yes.
Like
being
from a independent perspective, even though he was in TNA, but like Mustafa Ali, what he did this past year, I love Santana's presentation, on the indies in HOG. TNA wise, I feel like he's starting to come around to get a push TNA wise. Hopefully next year, we can start seeing him break out more. Because I think that's a guy that you can elevate in the men's division TNA wise, especially with the individuals that they have coming up for possible departures based on contracts, right? He's somebody you can elevate and slide up. JBL just clotheslining people randomly in every single promotion on God's green earth outside of going to New Japan in 2024 is an interesting thing. He hasn't said one word, but he's still, knocking heads off. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot that we haven't mentioned. And we can look at this from the negative side too, as far as I know we touched on Jericho, but like who hasn't changed or elevated and whatnot, right?
Oh, don't worry, we'll get to that too.
So
where do you guys want to start? Well, sure.
You're the captain, bro. You're the captain. You out here the point guard today. You're Chris Paul. We're set up the offense and let us go.
Where do you feel the week went?
It went good. There was some mush, but it went good. So we'll start with the highs. Anybody want to hop in first?
I'll go first. For me, Drew McIntyre is my Mount Rushmore this week.
Oh, that was mine too.
From the promo on Raw to the freaking mic drop promo he cut on Busted Open's holiday party, Busted Open Radio's holiday party.
I didn't hear anything on that.
Oh, so good. Watch that.
Okay.
To him showing up on SmackDown last night and kicking.
I did not expect that.
Head off. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre just taking everybody. He's like taking what KO has done, even though KO has been focused strictly on Cody for aligning with the bloodline. Drew's like, no, fuck that. I'm going above. I'm taking everybody's heads off.
Yes.
I'm taking everybody out that went back to align with Roman.
Did not cost me anything. I'm taking you out.
I like that.
He hasn't said nothing to Seth, and he hasn't said nothing to Punk, even though Punk is still there in some capacity. But he cleared that up in the promo and said at least Punk did it because of a bribe. So it's given direction as far as, okay, my beef is still there with Punk, but I can't go after him because of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But everybody else, you're catching
You
bullets.
watch out. Yes.
It's on site. It's on site. And I love the social media aspect of it. I love the authenticity that he's bringing to it and everything. Like Drew, for me right now this week, Mount Rushmore, top of the heap for me.
Yeah.
You can, I mean, part of Jason's game right there, the topic, character development.
Oh, yeah, character development. Yeah.
I mean, Drew, look, if you're looking at, COVID, whenever Drew was trying to be the face of the company, winning the title to now, I mean, this heel run's so much better than his face run.
Two completely different people.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I also like how.
I sorry, Donald. Just one other thing. I know, like they had to break glass and bring him back earlier than expected because of Bronson's injury. They had to pivot and change up stuff because it was supposed to be Bronson Reed versus Sami Zayn tonight, and a la Bronson doing some of the same things that Drew has, but even with that being the case, him coming back sooner rather than later, because I think Drew would have held out to Rumble. I think they would have brought him back as a
that would have made
surprise,
sense,
right? But this just adds fuel to a fire that has been stoked. And honestly, like I know KO ran through the history with the Bloodline and Roman, and through the 4 years plus that the Bloodline, Drew's right there with KO. Like it's been Drew against the Bloodline for multiple years now. So the fact that it still feels fresh and it still feels brand new all these years later is a testament to the writers, is a testament to everybody involved, the characters and how they're bringing it on screen. So yeah, I'm here for it. I want to see where it goes. It's just when you start looking main event picture aspect, and this is a good problem to have, but like there's a lot of people now in the main event scene in WWE that a couple years ago,
it wasn't
2019, 2020, you didn't have that. Like you're talking 8-10 deep that you can go plug and play right now on both shows. Total. Like, so kudos to what's been built over the last couple of years and how everybody stepped their game up, because Drew definitely has.
Yeah. What I also like with the Drew story is the OG bloodline is trying to distinguish Solo's bloodline. But right on the OG bloodline's tail is Drew. He's trying to burn that end out too. So it's giving you like almost like a circle type feeling of like, this main group is trying to destroy this group, but right on their tail is somebody else.
But isn't that what we see? Isn't that what we love? Like for fans of like the superhero comics and like the great iteration of Marvel with their 10-year run running through Thanos. Like you had the tie-ins and people chasing and everything else, but again, it brought full circle with Infinity War, Endgame, all these pieces coming together, stories coming together, right? Like that's what made that whole 10-year window of Marvel movies so fantastic, which is part of the reason why they felt off since then, because it's like you had to restart and all that investment emotionally for 10 years, and now you're trying to do it with new characters and new stories and people that aren't as well known as your Thors and Hulks and Iron Mans. Like it's not grabbing the attention the way that it's grabbed. So like whenever this whole Bloodline saga ends, because Roman, they were showing clips this week. I saw of Roman being an interview. I forget when it was. It might have been a year or two ago. But how he said, we're the center of the universe. It's us. It's me. It's what we've done. Like and when you look at it, like they're that centralized figure in this whole WWE story. So when it does conclude, when it does end, and who knows how long that's going to be, because we thought it would have ended by now, right?
Yes.
But when it does end, does WWE hit the same wall that Marvel did? Does the product change? Does the investment change? Does it take a hit? Does it take a step back because of that main story finally concluding in a way that ends it, and we're not getting these main characters that we've been invested in for 4+ years now at the helm? Like, that's something that's interesting to think about, to break down when it does happen.
And it probably will, because I mean, if you look at all the different eras in WWE, there's always been that transition period. So yeah, there probably will be something, but it's what they do in that period that will decide how much of a transition it really is.
You brought up eras. Triple H had a good comment this week about eras. Did you see what he said?
No.
He said that this era WWE right now is bigger than the Attitude Era, and that can be debated. And we're currently still in it, so I don't want to have that. I don't necessarily want to have that discussion now because we're still in it. But
money wise, yes, just because of the inflation and everything, how we get to that. But
take money in that out of the like box office draws.
Yeah,
and all
but that's what they like to tout now more than anything is that, and so I think that could be part of what he talks about with it. But yeah, I'd rather hold that till
when it ends.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that somebody that he was a main figure during the Attitude Era, right? And bled into the 2000s and that. But now
the promoter in him too, he really can't sit there and say
he's driving the ship now, right? Mm-hmm. So like, it's just interesting to see, his take, his spin, his retrospect on it. Because, behind closed doors, does he really feel that way? Or like Chris, you said, is it the promoter in him that's hyping this era up to make it?
I'll give him mass appeal. I won't give him like popularity and coverage like you see in The Rock and Stone Cold everywhere.
Okay.
But I'll give him mass appeal. More people watching.
More people watching now?
Yeah, I think so.
See, there's no way to quantify that now though, because back then you had Nielsen ratings.
Actual ratings.
There was only cable, and you had 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 million people on Monday night watching wrestling, where now there's no way to actually pull in and see what's on cable, what's on streaming, what's on, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way to give those numbers to actually tell. And social media sometimes makes it feel like more people are watching and invested, but that could just be algorithms and timelines based off of us doing this show and talking about it, right? So
I was gonna say, like, a good way is how many students are throwing up their ones to their teachers compared to how many of us was telling our teachers to suck it.
Well, there's differences there. Like, praising a teacher
we're throwing the ones up to the teachers.
But to that aspect, like, how many people
are they doing
That'll be a better.
But like, how many college campuses are having Raw parties where compared to back then with Nitro parties? Like,
very true.
That was on the show weekly. They were going around campuses showing Nitro parties at colleges, right? Like
the whole spring break thing.
Yeah. Taquan, that's hate. Mars, what up, Mars down there? And then Drew has had a year. Absolutely, Drew has had a year. Mars, I appreciate the breakdown of Snoop Dogg's new album that you put out there. I haven't listened to it yet, but based off of your review, I'm gonna have to go in and check it out.
I didn't know it was new. I thought it was like a remastered or something.
Yeah, brand new album from the
Yeah, he was on first take this
Godfather. The cultural icon, the American hero, Snoop Dogg. Who would have thought that whenever Murder Was the Case came out?
Back in '93.
Branding is a great thing.
Chris, who was your Mount Rushmore?
My Mount Rushmore for the week, I'm going to give it to Rhea and Roxanne from Monday night. There was a little clunky in the match, the points, but overall, I enjoyed the match.
But if you're making it a no DQ, false count anywhere type of match situation, right? Like the clunkiness there doesn't bother me because it's a fight, right? Like So I'm not, I don't need your 5-star technical aspect in that regards. But I thought they went out there and both showed out. Like I thought it was a really good showing for Raquel, for her to remind people what she used to be, right? Like, and I know some people were drawing comparisons to like Raquel with Liv, with Camille with Mercedes, as far as what are they doing to the muscle, to the heat.
Raquel's getting heaps better treatment.
Right. So, yeah. Camille dropped an interesting quote this week too. So,
overall this week
may not see her back in AEW either. She may be pulling a Phoenix already, trying to get out of contracts. But
you said you said earlier Chelsea, so I thought yours was going to be somewhere related with Chelsea. But mine is them actually making the right decision to put Chelsea and Mia Yim in that intercontinental match. Now, I know I picked Bailey to have like a name on the belt, but this is title. This is Intercontinentals on Raw. This was the right decision.
We'll tell. I was going to bring that up whenever we talk about Saturday night's main event tonight, because the finals is tonight, so we don't have to run through prediction right now. But I agree with you, Jay. They definitely got the right call as far as the brackets and who was in it. Normally, you would think they would just go with chalk, right? You would have Bailey versus Tiffany.
Yeah.
But that Tiffy time,
man,
she's not a heel, man.
Man, that tea kettle boy, bro, that tea kettle is just.
It's brewing.
I don't like anything.
The steam is starting to come out.
It is.
Once it screams, you gotta cash in. And when she cashes in, that pop is gonna be a pop. Because she's not a heel.
Yeah.
Even though I want her to be a heel because she's so good at it.
Oh, that character deserves to be a heel.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to hold it in. It is.
Yeah.
You don't know how much further they can drag that out. Maybe like once you see this transfer window close, as far as talent shifting across rosters, and they get that set.
We can go more into that.
You got Aldis and Pierce out there. You got Aldis and Pierce out there dropping NIL bags. We're doing now.
Right when the real transfer portal opens, you know what? We're gonna do the same thing.
You got recruiting trips. Cody showing up on Raw, having conversations. Like, what are we doing?
I have a Rushmore.
1B.
Yeah, if we got 1B. DIY's promo on SmackDown.
That was good.
Very, very good. I mean, I haven't heard them like that in a long time. I haven't heard Ciampa like that since he was NXT champ. I never heard Gargano like that because he was always either like a fun-loving heel or a true baby face. I mean, Creative really did a good job on them because Creative was a creative.
I'm so glad they got their flowers. It just happened to be at their funeral. I was like,
yes, yes, that was so good.
Johnny, I didn't wasn't expecting. I was like Cobra Kai, Johnny Lawrence. That was. And
he's the mastermind. Yeah, I want to see how this plays out.
Yes. So this automatically puts me right back into invested in tag team, especially with them, to see how they go.
The video packages in general, I enjoyed on SmackDown between DIY and Romans.
Yes, DIYs and Romans was good too. Roman I thought that was Miami Vice there on the yacht. I was like, damn. Like Heyman in the background again, just like.
Was that
that's that old school feeling because like I don't need everything to happen in the ring. So give me more of those.
Yes.
I don't need the whole show with them, but incorporate where it needs to be incorporated. Cool.
And even Motor City Machine Guns was good too for how short it was. I mean, they got to the point. Michelle saying, "Hey, I'm the teacher. I'm going to show you. Like, let's go."
Yeah, but Roman, you got the Tribal Chief versus Tribal Chief on the Netflix Raw, right? So, all right, cool. Like, what does that tee up though? Is that the bigger leap to tee up?
Who's coming out?
the final boss. Final boss, because
As soon as they said that, I was like, yep, he's returning that night.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah,
because
He's special guest referee.
when you start looking out towards WrestleMania, because it's going to be here before we know it, even though they pushed it back.
What's going on, DJ?
You know, even though Rock has been pegged as not working Mania this year, I believe it whenever I see it.
Yeah.
But like, is it Rock and Cody, or is it Rock and Roman? And right now, based on what they've done with this Bloodline Civil War and them giving us Solo and Roman now, I almost want to see Rock and Roman at Mania.
Between the two, I'd rather see that match.
Oh, we had a live person in the building for SmackDown last night. Okay, DJ.
How was it live? You tell us how you enjoyed it first.
Overall was good to me. I enjoyed the show. It's the one I watched straight through.
I did too.
Yeah, I didn't mind the show.
I did. I enjoyed it.
No, I don't remember anything specific about the crowd though, but I'm not saying that negative or positive.
Just the Tiffy.
Yeah.
And Drew. Tiffy and Drew. Those are the ones I really remember.
Yeah, I was a little. I thought they would have give Jimmy a little bit more love than what they did, but Jimmy hasn't had the amount of time to rebuild himself up as a true face. Like it just fell into place with the OG bloodline going against the new bloodline. So like he was faced by association in that case, right? So I thought maybe they would have given him a little bit more love, but I could see why it wasn't as much as what maybe they were hoping for or expecting. And he's going to be out for a while anyways because of the broken toe situation and that. So
the takeout makes sense.
Calling yourself Big Jim though, I don't need that. That can be something that ends and dies last night. He kept saying Big Jim, Big Jim. Like no.
Yeah, it was. But no, I mean SmackDown.
Okay.
SmackDown was good. Like
I didn't see anything for the.
Yeah, no double taping. No, you won't even need to mention the double taping. I don't want
no spoilers. No spoilers. I'm already mad enough about spoilers. The crowd being hot for Solo is good. I like that. But we don't need no spoilers. I'm already mad enough that I couldn't enjoy the surprise return of Tessa Blanchard last night because it was reported
already.
Like
might just spoiled it for somebody else.
LA Knight's still over. Even with him dropping the belt to Shinsuke, like.
I do have a 1B, New Day. Just the reaction they got. They didn't let him do.
Don't have to talk. They're gonna say nothing.
That was my one. That was my 1A until the week played out and Drew just cemented it for me. But yeah, the not even able to speak, like they supplanted Dom in that aspect.
Yes, they have
on Monday night, and we talked about it last week on the show, like how much of an investment there was in those three characters and the way that they did it. I thought they teed it up beautifully with showing them prior to them coming out, just the people turning their backs on them in the locker room. Cody, you should be ashamed of yourselves, like a disappointed father, and Woods going, that's rich coming from the guy that he was back in high school. And then those clips started reappearing as far as Cody and Woods' experience in high school with dating the same girl. Like that was just, it's all well done. Like,
so about New Day last week, whenever the whole thing happened with the 10th anniversary, I kind of thought, I was like, with the transfer portal open, maybe they'd split them up. Do you think they should stay together as a tag team? Or do you think that they should go their own way?
No. Tag team. They win the belts, and you just have their heat on them. We're not doing no singles BS now. No.
Yeah. Give them the heel run they deserve.
Yeah. yeah, it's going to be nuclear, and it's going to be one of the most enjoyable things to watch ever. And those two are so freaking smart. Did you see how they're already building up the hate for them to get on Monday night in Boston?
Mm-mm.
No, I didn't see that.
Both of them on social media have been tremendous with just burying wherever they were at Monday night. I forget the city already.
Coach hometown?
But just saying how, like, in Boston, they'll get the respect that they deserve and they'll be allowed to speak and everything else, just teeing the crowd up to come in and bury him. Like, it's beautiful to watch.
You flip that script.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a really good run. Like, they may not have to open their mouths until Mania at this point, but the amount of booze that they're going to get week in and week out.
So where there's the highs, there's the lows. Our mush of the week. Anybody want to start it off?
I'll kick it off.
No,
You want your podium?
I'll kick it off. This is
Can I get
not
my popcorn?
This is not new because it's been the mush of the week across the board on social media. Period. Jay has the woman's shirt on. How do you book Tony Storm's return match for Rampage?
Yes.
Why? How? What went through your mind to treat arguably your biggest attraction that you've had, the most over person that you've had in your company for a year plus, and you throw her on Winter is Coming Part Duh on Rampage that only had 118,000 people watch it last week? Are you kidding me, Tony Khan?
I was shocked.
He gave a Rampage like she got ring rust.
Like she hasn't been touring everywhere.
I don't normally come in here and talk about Alvarez and Meltzer and what they discuss on their show, but Alvarez said that
I don't know. Tubi might get ratings increase. That's in more homes.
I don't want that shit on Tubi.
Right there.
I don't want that shit on Tubi.
Bro, how do you do that? How, like,
well, it is a horror movie.
First off, I'm glad the women main evented Wednesday night, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But they even messed that up because you gave them 11 minutes with the run over, and 3 minutes in, you cut to a picture-in-picture and commercial. So the finish was out of nowhere, which sucked because of timing. You just went directly to the finish to make sure Tony could come out on stage for her return. But to put her on Rampage last night, I don't need to say nothing else. That mush. Quadruple mush.
I'll continue with AEW. Dynamite, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. That fight was awful to me. It was the same match I seen in NXT, which was the same match I seen in New Japan, which was the same match I seen in ROH. To me, it was absolutely boring because I seen the same gimmicks for all their years fighting the same match over and over.
And you buried MJF. You had him run out onto the apron to stand there for 5 seconds before he ran into a punch from Adam Cole, and then he took off through the crowd up the aisle. Nobody cares about this. Nobody wants to see him. Yo, slapping Dasani on Polar Spring is crazy. Because both of those are trash.
Yes, they are.
You might as well just call them Aquafina at this point.
Yeah, it was bad. And then it just comes to the conclusion for me that O'Reilly, Cole, they can't change characters at all. It was like they are who they're going to be. Like I always say, like gimmicks. Like yes, they do. Yes, they do. They're married to each other. Roddy's the only one out of that whole little group who show any character change.
Oh, you want to talk about great character development over the last 5 years? Roderick Strong turning an almost broken neck into an actual gimmick and just being neck strong was tremendous.
Like that is it. Like
Taquan. Now, why you
Joel
got
Gertner did it better.
I mean, oh man, Taquan.
So yeah.
But no. That crowd was so dead for that match, and it just goes you piss poor booked the Dynamite Battle Royal, and gave us a piss poor finish that nobody was invested in.
Who you knew was gonna win.
To get to a piss poor match that nobody cares about.
For a paper,
this
no one's going to
storyline.
Yes.
Should have died months ago.
Yes. And then I think somebody put out on social media saying Adam Cole turned on MJF at Winter's Coming, and then now they're gonna or whatever they're fighting. And
it's one year. Yeah, it's 1 year later. It's 1 year later. It's fantastic storytelling. It's long-term booking. 1 year later, they're having the match to settle the score. This is not Hogan v. Savage at WrestleMania 6. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Look, there's not enough Mio in the world to make Aquafina taste good. Okay, DJ? I'm sorry.
It's all the same thing, DJ.
I had to make sure I wasn't drinking it.
No, I got Costco water.
It's all the same water,
Chrissy.
different label.
Yep.
Chrissy, you got to see you down the stretching. You got. Is Chris coming?
No, nothing from TV this week, but I'm giving it to the TKO Group CEO this week for announcing that he has no problem moving forward with all WWE Premium Live events becoming 2 days.
No.
Stop. This is a thing that I was worried about when this group bought them, was seeing what they did with UFC and oversaturating the market with them. Nothing's been officially announced, but if we go to 3-hour Raw again, if we go to 3-hour SmackDown again, if we do 2-day live, 2-day events, like it's too much.
You gotta start being selective. Like I'm not watching.
We're getting 2 nights of Money in the Bank. We're gonna have the men's on night 1, the women's on night 2. We're getting 2 Royal Rumbles. We're getting 2 Hell in a Cell.
Like when they first talked about this, like of doing like TKO weekends, like where you'd have like a UFC, like on a Saturday night and WWE on a Sunday night. I was like, cool, like they get everything together for the weekend. But
Dairy Delight is a continuous stop squeeze that will never not be on the list.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to elevate my water selection outside of
So yeah, he gets the
the 2-night stuff is that's too much.
We don't need that for everything.
It is too much.
2-night Survivor Series.
What are you gonna get? 1 night of Survivor Series, 1 night of War Games?
We're going to do a traditional 5v5 nostalgia night, and then we're doing a War Games night. Or we're getting a War Games women's match night 1 and men's match night 2.
That's something. If I fall asleep on it, I'm not going back to watch it. I'll tune in. But if I
Hell,
pass out,
bring back a 2-night a 2-night Taboo Tuesday. We'll just spread it out over 2 Tuesdays in a row. Hell, make it a month-long event. We'll just do 4 Tuesdays in a row. Like,
just they need to stop being whores for the money. That's it. Like,
hey.
Hey.
I mean,
you gotta call every business out on that.
Yeah. Oh,
Thursday.
I'm about to sign up for Foot Finder if people are banking $43 million in a year on OnlyFans. about to start, snapping feet pics because
you keep saying it, but you ain't doing it.
I'm building the catalog up before I launch it.
We can put that QR code up in the corner.
Oh no, yeah, well, no, we're definitely going to do that. That once it's launched, it's out there for sure. Survivor Series and War Games. See, now I'm cooking, DJ. DJ, it's got the 2-day in your house rather than 2 minute.
Is that what they call it in your house? A 2-minute rampage?
Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is.
They're that high school banner.
That's a 3-minute warning. Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that announcement, Chris. I mean, Mania and SummerSlam are already 2 nights. I don't see how
Yeah,
else
need SummerSlam.
you could work a two night event for some of these other pay-per-views. It's just not.
It's not needed.
No, we wanted less matches, less time. We got less matches.
Stuff. Yeah, they're doing stuff like that works for the weekends. Like whenever they do SmackDown in the city, and then doing the event on like
That's
Saturday night. Like
yeah,
you're doing this stuff. Like you don't need to have the whole event, like a whole weekend of it. Like
DJ, that question would be posed to the man that's driving the ship this week, as far as leak content and secret sauce menus that he has. I'm not familiar with those. I didn't realize there were additional.
I didn't hear anything on that either.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but guess what I'm going to do after I get off?
Change the wording. Change the wording.
Pause. You got to put a pause. Guess what I'm gonna do when I get off? That guy's crazy. That's crazy. And he just said it so fluently.
So, mine came from just stupid booking on Raw. Mine was the addition of Damian Priest.
Yeah. You said
Mine
bad
was the
booking
last
on
one
Raw?
addition of Damian. Yeah, mine was the last one addition to Damian Priest to make it a triple threat.
Yeah,
I hate it.
That was on my list too.
What are you doing with Dakota Kai? She wins her match, and you have her fighting to live, just to get Io and him involved. What are we? What, Steve? Say it. What are we doing?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Using some wrestler to get to,
So we had pegged as a champ, possibly. One of the first title holders, possibly. And you have her losing to live just to further along the storyline that's going to go nowhere.
You could have put anybody in that match.
Yes. One of the losers.
Exactly.
I will say that I saw a lot of people, and this was not as far as like a mush, but I did see a lot of people complaining about just, as much as Tony Khan has booked his entire Wednesday night show around the Continental Classic, and a tournament should not be driving your show, but Triple H is getting flack for just throwing three-way matches out there just for three-way matches to get to these titles. Like you couldn't have come up with a better formula and system than just
something different too.
Booking three ways all the time.
It's a quick way to get everybody in and everybody out.
Well, three-way usually does that. You're usually in and out. Like, not spending a whole lot of time there.
It's like you could do something. It's like you could do something different, especially with both women's belts. Like you could do one could be like this three-way whatever. Another one you could bring back the championship scramble for the hell of it. Just put the five girls together and do that. It's just something different. Everything doesn't have to be the same.
Yeah, we already brought her up in the Mount Rushmore squeeze. We're going to talk about that when we get into Saturday night's main event tonight. As far as that match, but I mean, when the brackets were announced, I came on this show and did a full rant on if Chelsea Green does not win this U.S. title, what are we doing? To continue the what are we doing trend. Like that was stated, weeks ago when this belt was launched.
Yeah.
So we can hop on into those predictions real quick.
All right.
Since you brought it up.
Let's kick things off with Sammy and Drew.
Drew, keep taking heads off.
Drew.
Yeah.
Drew.
You ain't stopping that momentum.
Right your way to the top, just like the Mortal Kombat tower. Right your way to the top. Yeah.
It's a good way to put it.
I mean, eventually he got to go.
Your destiny.
Yeah, if you're going to do it in that regards, you got him actually toppling Roman at the end, right? Like,
yeah, that's Shao Kahn, right?
All right. Move on to the Women's World Championship that we were talking about. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky.
Look, I know they're potentially planning some type of big title change because it is Saturday night's main event and it's the first one in a long time and you want to make it special and everything else. I can make the argument for Io to win and have Io versus Rhea at Mania. If Liv wins, I don't know where you go from here for finding another challenger outside of Rhea, and I think they've overplayed that. So if you're going to have a title change hands, even though I don't think Liv would drop the belt here, I could make the argument for Io, but I got Liv still. I don't see Liv.
I'd love to see Io and Rhea run, but I think they just got to finish this story. So Liv's retaining.
Yeah, Liv's retaining. I want to see Io, but come on, got to see where the story falls. Follow the story.
Yeah, I mean, I think the money match here would be that we still have to get that final match between Liv and Rhea. You've been building towards it, so Liv to retain. And now the match.
Chelsea.
I mean, yeah, Chelsea's got to win this.
Nothing against Mia Michin, like
agreed.
But this is a moment
like, tailor made for her.
Yeah.
Give me Michin with a Tiffany Stratton cash in.
No, absolutely not.
Something has to change. You ain't throwing a Saturday main event for nothing to change. Something got to give.
Something's gonna change.
I like outside the box, but we're not gonna have Tiffy time cash in on just a newly created title.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say Mia Yim, but I didn't want to say Mia Yim beat her, so that's why I said Mia Yim for the win to get that get back. But it's more plausible for her to go over on Tiffy time on Chelsea Green because it's a Chelsea Green type situation.
Taekwon, I resent that statement that you just said. I consider literally my house is half and half. So like,
and I say it clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter the result, give me a Tiffy time cash in.
Interesting. All right, World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther, Finn, and Damian. And Jason, I'm with you. I did not think that Damian should have been added to this. I was looking forward to this match being a one-on-one because it's like 4 or 5 years since we were supposed to get that one-on-one match. That got canceled because of COVID.
Finn's supposed to get a big push in 2025. Mm-hmm. So I mean, would it shock me here? No, but I still need, that carrot out there of Gunther versus Cena for title 17 is a large dangling carrot pause that I think money wise is too good to pass up.
Gunther.
But is Gunther a babyface? Because that was a babyface promo on Monday.
Yes, it was.
He's slowly changing. So,
and it didn't make sense. If you were going to make it a triple threat, I didn't understand Gunther cutting the promo he cut. If it was just him versus Finn, that's babyface Gunther because Finn's the bad guy. But you add Priest back into it, and it's like, well, why did Gunther cut the promo he cut?
Mm-hmm.
Gunther.
Give me Finn pinning Priest.
So that could be just over with.
Yeah, if the title change, one of them is taking a pin. Gunther's not taking a pin if the title changes hands. So
I want Gunther to do it, but since they added Priest in here, it's just like it worries me that they're gonna have Priest pin Finn, so Gunther doesn't lose, but loses the belt.
That's not a bad comparison, Taekwon, because Braun is definitely the same way with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I want Gunther to retain, so I'm gonna go with Gunther just to retain. But it wouldn't surprise me if Priest wins here, because what you were talking about, Steve, they're probably gonna try to do some type of title change somewhere because it's the first show.
Gunther and Liv are both betting favorites on DraftKings to retain.
Yeah.
If that matters to anybody, but KO has to win this, right?
Here's my title change. Yeah, this is my title change.
KO has to win this.
If he doesn't win, it kills all momentum and all character he built up to this point. And Cody's reign so far hasn't been the best. Something has to change.
Steve, are you giving the prediction? Like your usual prediction. Orton come out and heel turn?
No, but Orton coming back to cost KO the match, I can see happening as a way to them get around the booking.
Yes, they are.
Cody's not losing if he's walking out with the winged eagle.
He's
And by all one night only, Cody's walking out with that winged eagle title.
Yeah,
and you're not going to have him lose it carrying the winged eagle for one night only.
That's the buddy loses. That's the brother that's on the line. He goes back in the case after he loses.
Hey, they said the same thing about Undertaker beating Hogan on that Tuesday night thing in '92. Nobody wasn't expecting Taker to win. Taker won.
Yeah. Well, I mean, KO can't lose. Like
he can't. No.
Cody's.
I love KO. I love KO. I've been a KO mark going all the way back to Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor. Like this is the best iteration of KO, and it's the justifiable. It's the Drew McIntyre. It's the same thing. He's justified for the way he feels, and y'all are booing him when you should be booing Cody.
To me, the bigger story now is him and Orton.
Yeah, I mean, having Orton come back, that's a nice touch to this. To where I would hate a Dusty finish, but if you're gonna do a Dusty finish with a no finish, why not have Dusty's kid in the Dusty finish match? So.
Yeah, no.
Cody retains. Orton's back. Him and KO are set up at the Rumble, and Cody can move on. There.
Can't have KO lose. Can't have him lose. He just can't be losing all these title fights. He can't be.
What they're doing, man.
A straight up clean finish kills
Miller. Jimmy Uso or Jay Uso.
Participation. He don't count.
If they have all the champs retain,
Battle of the Belts.
Battle of the Belts.
That's all it is. Battle of the Belts. It is a version of Battle of the Belts.
You're guaranteed one new champion.
Yeah.
I mean, outside, well, yeah. That don't count.
This will be Battle of the Belts.
I will say, I believe in my heart of hearts. Yeah, Rhodes. Yeah,
that's Taquan. He got that clause. You got that clause in this contract.
Charlotte Flair will be making her return back tonight.
Come on, man. Is that what you're predicting, or is that what you're saying? You seen the list?
No, she wasn't on that list as far as return. No, the people that I saw returning was all nostalgia acts.
Okay.
And Taquan's number one will be on Saturday night's main event. Coco Beware will be on Saturday night's main event tonight. So Taquan, make sure you tune in for that bird flap. We're getting Frankie out there breaking it down. The original pterodactyl dance. Coco Beware.
Is somebody we know with yellow and red coming too?
No.
He is on a Legends deal, right?
But
that's what he said.
His best friend that carries around a megaphone is supposed to be back for the night.
Hey, they attach at the hip sometime.
Yeah.
Brutus.
No, Charlotte Flair will be back tonight.
Where are they inserting her?
That was my hope. It's going to be Monday, or it's going to be January 6th. Netflix. Let me say no.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, the way Roman was throwing that around, I was like,
I'm not even going to go there. Yeah, shut my mouth.
Moving on.
Is that the new? Is that the New Year's Day celebration? Is that people just go up and make January 6th?
said December 35 days.
Are we switching the inauguration date to January 6th instead of 20th? Is that what we're doing now too? Like,
Look over here so you don't look over here.
so they can all storm the inauguration like they did the Capitol a year ago. Like, this is what we're doing.
Jason, should we get into the game?
January 6th is going to be the new election day. January 6th is going to be the new Columbus Day. January 6th is going to be every holiday. That's going to be the new July 4th.
Holiday.
It's going to be the new July 4th. We're celebrating the country's independence on January 6th.
Man,
Hey,
we
as long as I can get off the barbecue, I'm good.
Come on, man. That's my dad's birthday, man. Come on.
All right.
Yo, your dad's going to officially petition to change his date of birth. He's going right down to get a new birth certificate.
We had to play this last week, Chris. I don't know what happened. Okay. This week they dropped the PWI Top 100 Tag Teams, and this looks bad.
This is terrible. Look how far tag team wrestling fell off this year.
It did. Tag team wrestling fell off.
I mean, the fact Bianca and Jada know, and I know their criteria is off from what they run their year to year and everything else. You got to go back and rethink. But it's this. I mean, Fraxium's the only one that legit has a case. The fact that Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are on this list and they just joined the company is ridiculous.
And not the Judgment Day.
The Young Bucks at 4 is crazy. I mean, you know, how do you have ABC on there, but you don't have the system on there? And the system had the belts longer than ABC.
Longer than they did. Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't know where they fell on the list, but
I think I seen Spitfire with 18. That's the only other number I've seen.
This was a terrible year for tag team wrestling.
Yeah, these lists get
once
worse.
Once this came out, I was shocked.
It is.
I was not expecting this.
Like, of the major promotions, like nothing like really sticks out at all for tag team. Nothing.
I didn't put tag teams who haven't had a belt up on this list before I put some of these people on here.
But then, like the Stardom and the New Japan tag teams, you know, I'm not watching those enough to justify, you know, where they're placed on the list. So I'm not gonna, you know, knock it. But
yeah, DJ, we said, where's Judgment Day at?
Yeah.
If you put the Bloodline on there,
yeah,
I know it's too late, but I want to already my top 10 for next year. Turbo Floyd and
why ain't they
already in the top 10 for next year?
Top of the merch sellers.
I mean, how many title defenses did the Young Bucks actually have? Like they had 2 matches against Private Party.
They had 2 matches with Private Party.
Might have been those 2.
But who? Like I don't remember.
How many did the Bloodline have? Not many.
Together, especially.
Those 2 together, 1 when they lost.
Yeah, Fraxi might be the number 1.
I did like JD McDonough saying we're on a generational run just because they've had the belts a certain number of days.
Yeah, Taquan.
Do you see any improvement?
There really needs to be a hard reset, and TNA doesn't have the roster size to truly make an impact. Pause, no pun intended. In tag team wrestling, like it's really hard to build out that division just based on roster size itself. They have potential for some great tag teams. Like I like Jake Something and Alex Hammerstone as a tag team, but Hammerstone got hurt, so it's like
they both got to stay healthy to keep that.
Yeah,
good tag
like
team.
there is potential for teams there. It's just not big enough, right? WWE just they never do it. They haven't done it. It's been 20 years since tag team wrestling has felt important in WWE, and it's single stars together, it's factions together with tag team titles. It's not a true tag team like we know tag teams to be. So,
Yeah.
and the company that should have did it and based their company on it hasn't done it.
No. They just have all their matches on Rampage or Collision.
Like the
That
only
don't
interest
mean
I see
anything.
the only interest I see right now that has potential is SmackDown, but I don't want to see the same three teams
Because that's what we're going to get.
like a revolving
good
door.
point.
It's gonna be Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, and DIY.
Yeah.
Maybe throw Austin and Theory and Waller in there, but that's just gonna be a revolving door.
Mhm.
It's like the same matches over and over.
But at
You
least
call them a tag team because they're two singles people put
That's the only
together.
potential I see.
yeah, but Waller and Theory have been together long enough. Like
It's
to
long
me,
enough,
they're
but
a tag team.
Yeah.
long enough, but they started as two singles just thrown together. That's how I just see it.
I mean, that was the same with ABC with Bay and Austin, though.
Yeah,
like they were
it
two
is.
singles that thrown together, but they're
That's
like,
how like a lot of them on here, except the Young Bucks that I know of, and
Bianca and Jade.
FTR. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know, man. Like NXT is doing the hard. NXT is doing the hard. They're doing the hard reset.
they are,
but they don't have the teams.
No,
it's bad right now down there.
Unless you can be Fraxium and Heights and the other guy. It's only two I see.
No quarter catch crew, but then again, that's a faction that has a tag team in it. Like, and that match was great on Deadline. Like, I love that match.
It was. That was a good match. Probably the best match for me for the night.
It's like, how many times am I going to continue to bet against Fraxium on an NXT takeover show? Because I wanted them. You know what I mean? Like,
then they're going again next week for a title match.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like they're like that. The hard reset is there, but the legwork to build up that division in NXT just because it's going to take a long time to where that's not something that can be done in a year.
Yeah, because everybody down there is like fresh, green, like green.
Yeah, OTM. Get me off the stereotype train with them, and maybe
it's time to get done.
Yeah. Tank and Bulldozer and the Heavy Machinery 3.0.
They're good, but I don't see them doing anything. I like their matches, but I don't see them doing anything.
And No Fading Blade, wherever they at.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That, AEW looks worse.
They don't do nothing with them.
Unless you push Outrunners to the moon, I don't see breaking up the Acclaimed. I don't see nobody else.
Fire them. I'm fired anyway.
Let's just hope 2025 is a better year.
I look. I want it to be better. Like tag team wrestling done right is probably the best things you can watch in pro wrestling when it's done right. And for a long time, their tag team wrestling was all that I cared about.
Mm-hmm.
But hell, I had FTR as my wrestlers of the year 2 years ago just because of what they did tag team wrestling wise. Like to go from FTR and the Briscoes, literally, what was that, 2 years ago? And that 3-match series and everything else that they did, like to be that pinnacle and just like how far it's fallen off across the board.
As much as I shit on the product back then, I miss it. I miss it. when you had your Young Bucks, your Penta and Ray, your Pride and Powerful.
Pride and Powerful. Yep. FTR when they came in.
Yep.
Yeah, bad list.
Future looks dread.
We gotta.
Looking back, definitely wasn't a great year.
No.
Yeah, we gotta decide when we're doing our year end stuff. Are we gonna do it, right after the new year and fully recap it, or are we gonna do it, before end of the year? In that regards, because I'm thinking next week may be the Festivus show where we just come with all of our yearly gripes.
We can talk off screen about it.
Yeah, more to come.
Let's wrap this show up and take it home. Any other final thoughts?
Quick hitters. I know we touched on Tessa coming back, signing with TNA. Apparently, the entire roster was shocked that she signed with TNA again. And Jordan Grace pushed back, didn't want to work with her. However, Jordan Grace cut a hell of a promo afterwards last night on the show. I don't know if you saw it, but it was exactly what it needed to be. So maybe they're turning a shoot into a work because, she basically, to summarize it, said, Tessa, I didn't think you were that big of an idiot that after all this time you turn your back on the company. You want to come back now and make a name on yourself, on make a name off of me. You got another fucking thing to think about, and drop the F bomb in there. Like, so if they're going to go with them two, because Tessa in the ring is top tier.
Yeah.
Tessa in the ring is top 5.
I enjoyed her run.
It's just the outside stuff of being a bad person, pretty much. Like, maybe she's growing up, matured, and
I was
things
gonna say,
change.
people,
Like, hopefully
people can change, but that's to be determined.
What they did last night with her attacking Jordan and Jordan's promo afterwards, sign me up. It's just whether or not Jordan's going to be in TNA long enough to see it truly play to fruition, because
got to make it work like Matt and Edge.
She may be on to WWE. Other quick hitters, I'm not going through everything. I don't. Ricky Starks, that whole stuff.
Ray Phoenix and stuff.
Willie Mack getting pulled from GCW show. It's like, what, you're pulling Willie Mack now? Like, what are we doing? Just because FE doubled down on his comments? Okay. But yet you have Blake Christensen on your ROH show. So you could use GCW talent.
You bring in Matt Cardona.
Yeah, Cardona. So
it's all the work.
Probably is, yeah.
My old saying from a couple years ago. It's all work.
No, man.
So no, thank you for following, or thank you for watching in. Thank you for tuning in, watching. Follow us on Spotify and all social media platforms at The March Pod. Somebody give me the merch plug.
Buy the merch at wrestlingtees.com/TheMarksPod.
Taquan, still got the notification. It should be there about the 25th with the fat guy in the red suit delivering it. So
that's just me in the white beard. I'm coming.
I'll let That's twice now. You did it earlier with the second off comment. White beard, I'm coming. Credits, man. Wrap it up.
Well, this is perfect. Quote of the week: embrace the glorious mess that you are.
And again,